good in the web? This is your boy Q, back again with some of that geek news. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you. I really appreciated you taking your time out of your busy day and taking some time out in your busy YouTube watch schedule to watch me. It's always appreciated. And if you're new to my channel, make sure, if you want to stay up to date on all things geek, from games, anime, and entertainment, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to stay notified. But now that all that's out of the way, the first thing that we have to talk about is, well, video game creators getting trolled. Mashara Sakurai? Is it Mega Man Sakurai? Matomo Sakurai? Minima Sakurai? Minato Sakurai? Look, I don't want to butcher his name too much. Sakurai, the creator of Super Smash Bros., who's always had a love-hate relationship for the game. He loves to make it for us, but then he hates the backlash that happens. And he loves to be on Twitter, but then he hates the trolls that are following him on Twitter. And believe it or not, it's not Isaac, Gino, Lynn, Mallow, or it can't be Ridley because he's in the game now. Trolls, it's Waluigi trolls. Now, out of all of the characters people have decided to troll about, they troll about Waluigi? I mean, he was created on a tennis game. And yes, mind you, Waluigi is one of the key characters that has a fan base. But seriously? A fan base over Isaac? A fan base over Rex? We don't even hear any Rex, Nia, and Pyra, Mithra trolls. But we see Sakurai getting harassed over Waluigi, and by being a very big advocate of trying to get Gino in the game, even writing the dude, and even, this was a long time ago, not recently, and even signing up for the little questionnaires and polls that Nintendo used to do. I think they did that with the Wii U Super Smash Bros., where you wanted the certain characters. Gino from Mario RPG, as well as Isaac and Lynn, were the top of my list, and that was before Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out. And I can think of at least 5 people, I'll just name 5, off the top of my head that are more important and would be of more value to be in the game rather than Waluigi. And did I already mention that he came out on a tennis game? If you want to get your character in the game, the thing is not to harass the dude by putting different faces on top of Waluigi or making memes of the guy. Maybe even ask nice, or not ask at all, or even hope like I'm doing. Please, Sakurai, I'm hoping that we can get some DLC for some of my favorite characters, especially since it's the Ultimate, and the game does not come out to December 7th, which means there's still a possibility, there's still hope for some of my favorite people. Maybe not Lynn, because, well, Lynn is, yeah, she's a assist trophy. Let's get the game out first, and then let's start talking about DLC. We just might get DLC. I mean, Super Smash Bros. Is coming out in the second year of the Switch's lifespan, so that means this is probably going to be a good game for at least 2 to 3 years, so you know they're going to add DLC. So please, people, please, get off the man's back. I found out some information which I didn't know from the other day, and come to find out that even though Square Enix has had all this mumbo jumbo stuff about the top upper branch and switching things and making extra divisions and really not talking about a whole bunch of stuff in their E3 event, that they figured, let's decide to talk about Final Fantasy VII, you know, after E3, because people have been clamoring about it, including myself. I've even got a couple of videos about it. Final Fantasy VII, the remake, is still in production, and the thing about it is it still seems like we're in limbo, because the directors and the producers of the game want to give it a bigger, widespread type of content, however, still trying to deliver as much of the old school story as they can. It's even said that they're going to put more emphasis into characters, which I think is pretty cool, because I would love to see more in-depth aspects of each character. Like, can we even go and be able to play as Tifa in certain portions and parts in the game? But I also don't want it to take away too far from the original story, because I've already played the game, and a lot of people have already played the game, even though it was, what, 21 years ago. we want to have a great story, but we do want to add some stuff, but let's not add so much stuff that we don't even know what the game is. And I think that instead of all this Final Fantasy 15 nonsense that we've been doing, we've been getting so much cell phone crap when it comes to the Final Fantasy 15. Look, I'm angry, I almost broke my phone. So many things when it comes to Final Fantasy 15 that is ridiculous. I'm tired of Final Fantasy 15. Let's get a game that we want to actually play extra DLC for. And yes, I know there's millions of people who love Final Fantasy 15. Yes, I get it. But if you compare all the rest of the Final Fantasies, at least, not counting 13, but 10 and lower, Final Fantasy 7, the remastered, has also even talked about becoming an episodic series, which I'm down for, depending how they do it. But I don't want it to be like the episodic thing which they did with Metal Gear Solid. I'm wondering what part will they actually stop the game and then restart the game. Will it be like, it was 3 discs, or will it be 3 different things? I would hope that they wouldn't do that unless they added the Before Crisis and they added the Crisis Core and then even some Advent Children stuff and maybe even some DLC to after the story, or we could even get some Dirge Cerberus. I mean, the Final Fantasy VII world is so huge that's why it continues to perplex me why the fact we continue to keep going into Final Fantasy 15 with all the cell phone games and all of the DLC. Let's focus on something that actually was a million seller. And sticking with Square Enix, one of my favorite Square Enix games in a long time, and I haven't even played the new entry of the demo, is that Octopath Traveler. And a lot of people across the interwebs are very angry. I mean, damn it, they're really upset because they're saying, you know what, we shouldn't have to pay a total of $59.99 plus tax for a 2D adaptation of a game. And as always, I'm like, hold on. Pump your brakes. Have you seen this game? Have you actually played the demo? I already put, which I keep overemphasizing, 10 hours into the original demo, and that's the original demo. In the new upload of the demo last week, you're able to actually level up characters and do certain parts in the story and then transfer that over into the next game. That's a godsend. So if you're like me and you want to do that hustle and grind, you can do that beforehand. And literally, how many games have people played where they don't want to pay $50 for $60 for quality? You're going to have 8 characters, 8 playable characters, and that's not mentioning some of the characters like Primrose and the other girl within the game, I think it's the Priestess, where you're able to add multiple characters and have a total of 6 characters on screen. Square Enix is calling this new function, I think it's HD 2D, and just in itself, I mean, a whole new 2D engine on the Unreal Engine, that's worth its money in itself. And did I mention 8 characters? You can get them all at the same time. You need to go and play the demo. If you haven't played the first one, don't worry about it. Play this one and go out and get the game. It looks and plays amazing. You'll see instantly why it's worth $60. Matter of fact, not only $60, but the extra $6 that you're going to be paying in taxes. Last but not least, I bring a story of anime. And if you've been keeping up with My Hero Academia, then well, I don't have to really talk about how suspenseful this particular series has gotten. We just seen the end of an era, an end of a legend, the end of All Might, or at least All Might in his superhero form. And did you know that All Might in his superhero form, in his actual hero form, is like 7'3"? That dude is a huge ass dude. I always have a theory that All Might is actually going to end up with Deku's mom. And a lot of people always tell me, it's like, oh, Q, you know what? I don't like the fact that Deku cries all the time and he's always, You know, every time you look up, he's whining and he's crying. And I always look at it in this manner because I was talking to a friend who's also raised by a single mother. And when you're raised by a single mother, you have a different sensitivity to other things that a lot of guys that weren't raised around a whole bunch of men, as in you had a father figure in your life, and or as you had a whole bunch of older brothers or cousins to take you under their wing and be like, hey, Deku, hey, shut up. The theory that I'm thinking is that because of that situation, that Deku, because he's dealing with All Might in his regular form, that all the closeness, and now that he can't be All Might anymore, him and his mom are going to kind of hook up. Now, that's just something I'm just throwing out there because I doubt that actually happens. That's crazy if that would actually happen, and I said it. And I don't read the manga, so who knows I don't know if that happens. But this right here, this last beginning of the end and end of the beginning, where we know we're going into a new arc because All Might just lost he just lost his power. He just lost All For One from One For All, or excuse me, I always got that confused. He just lost One For All by fighting All For One? Or he just lost All For One for fighting One For All? Yeah, it took me a minute to get there too, so thank you for staying with me. What probably really has me the most hyped to see what's going to happen in this next arc is because of the fact that Shigaraki is now full-fledged the leader of the League of Villains, which I already like the League of Villains, and I even like how he had to progress, much like how Deku had to progress, and I want to see if their whole rivalry is going to stay along, kind of like All For One and One For All with All Might. And I'm just really curious to see what other step that they're going to do. One of the most touching scenes in the whole, episode was when All Might points at the cameras and says, now it's up to you. And I love that moment where everybody else was walking past Deku and he just was like, damn, now it's on me. And I really just interested to see what this next episode is going to be, because it feels like this is going to be the end of this few episodes of the season, and then we're going to have a little layover and then go into the next one. I'm not for certain yet, but that's kind of like what it feels, and this next episode is going to be kind of tying up things that's going to have us thirsty for the next season that's going to be coming out. But in the web, as always, this has been your boy Q, your friendly neighborhood geek. If you did like this video, please make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and right by it, ring that bell to stay up to date, not only on video games, not only on anime, not only on entertainment, but on all things geek. And until next time, remember, eat, geek, sleep, repeat. See you Friday. Peace.